Hey, what's up? This is Rafael Hoffman. We're going to get into Aubergine. Now, I've did 2 videos of Aubergine. In this third video, basically Aubergine will be discussed less as speculation and more as a knowing. So, as people have been following me, they already know that I've entered into teal, and I'm stage teal, and they know that like things move in like a mountain or a slopes on both sides, like a slug. And so I'm entering into Aubergine. Because I don't know what Aubergine is, I only give myself a little bit of percentage when it's probably a little bit more, probably closer to 5 to 8%. But because I don't know what it is, and I'm just starting to realize what it probably is, I'm only going to label myself as 3%. So I'm starting to see that the Aubergine will entail a much more objective take to human consciousness than before even. Before, we were interested in uniting mankind in a kind of collective thought process. Teal is caught up in this agenda of balancing out for coral's chaoticness. It's like you're trying to do things by yourself. You're trying to exploit. You're trying to see other people as kind of prey in a sense. For the sake of intelligence, for the sake of development, for the sake of interconnectedness, all for consciousness related things. But then once you get into teal, you start to say, no, that's not okay. Let's not try to abuse people's consciousness. Let's take advantage of them. Rather, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get together and we're gonna enhance consciousness. So obviously, there's no organization in a stage orange and red and blue era that's possible where you can really do this without kind of like orange priorities, like money. But there are organizations that, like a teal organization, people say that it's different than teal, but it's a good starting point. Look up teal organizations. I don't believe it's coincidence. I think there's a spiritual reason why this ended up happening. And you'll see that what they do in a teal organization, this is different from, because this form of teal might be considered yellow, and therefore compatible with Ken Wilber's version of teal, but I think it's a little deeper. I think if you look into it, they're not as interested in profit, and there's much more of an equality-based mindset with the leadership. And that is a teal quality. They want equality of leadership. They don't want to be seen as different from anyone else. Now, so in Aubergine, what's going to happen is, it's not that he doesn't want to be seen as, it's not that he doesn't want to be seen as different from anyone else. He wants teal to notice the differences in everyone else. Because teal is so preoccupied with uniting people, it fails to see the complexity, the multiplicity, the plurality, the colors of each person. It just wants everyone to be teal. And I think that's a flaw from coral. So this is a little bit of an assumption that teal is saying about coral. I like what you did. I like your idea that you should. I like what you did about believing that higher consciousness is the way to go. I'm going to take that and now apply it by uniting people of a like-minded nature. But that's too biased. So Aubergine is further expanding and saying, you know what, go out into the world. Travel to different places. I want you to look at their own level of consciousness and elevate it based on who they are. So it's going to be looking at all cultures, all stages, which, remember, all stages was a quality in stage turquoise. I'm interested in all types, and I want each and every person to be elevated in the sense that they're going to be involved, included in this endeavor to raise consciousness. And so the Aubergine person balances out for teal's flaws of like collective unity by saying, screw unity, let's get out of this organization. Building our own organizations is another idea, but it's more than that. It's a mindset of, I don't want us to be like-minded because I want the opportunity of seeing what this other person is. And it takes a very high level of acceptance. So by teal, you want people to enhance consciousness. You have an agenda. But by Aubergine, you no longer have an agenda. You just want people's consciousness to be advanced, regardless of the setting and the methodology. So there's even more passivity in terms of long-term goals, and they've kind of accepted the circumstance. They change the circumstance with their own capacity and their own abilities and so on, but they have a even higher level of acceptance than stage teal did, which was still very, very high. And also with this comes Ken Wilber's SDI's concept of the overmind, which means they have a very objective take of reality, of people. They're seeing it from above, and they also want everyone involved and not just a particular few brain cells. Not just things to work in a specific way, which was the flaw, if you will, from organization teal, from teal organization mindset. Now they want to balance out for teal's agenda by saying, let's get out there and let's forget about rigidity, let's forget about organization. And of course, Aubergine's going to have the flaw of not having any organization, and some type of organization is going to materialize. And how that looks is going to be seen. I don't know I don't know the stage after Aubergine, but I'm gonna look the people up and see what possibilities have been labeled, and of course I will change the names if official names are announced by official people like Ken Wilber and his colleagues or his students and all the people involved in discussing this spiral dynamics in some shape or form. In short, Aubergine is about expansion through no differentiations whatsoever. In fact, they're going to have the flaw of looking for differentiations. So they're going to be biased for looking for differentiations and wanting to teach those who are different more than the ones who are closer to them, to balance out for the teal concept, the teal quality. Obviously, this is just one minute aspect. There's going to be hundreds of people discussing teal and Aubergine, but they're all going to focus on something else. I'm talking about it from their organizational standpoint, but there's going to be hundreds of traits that these two qualities have, and you'll be able to talk about what it is from there. They'll all have similarities. Obviously, this is not the entirety of Aubergine and teal. This is just one aspect that is involved in the aftermath of being in these stages.